Once upon a time, there was a red and a blue man. The red man was more focused on building homes and keeping other people out of them. To him, it was better to lose a little bit of money in order to keep the strength of the home. The blue man was more focused on making the home bigger and inviting more people in. To him, it was better to make more money while letting more people in and squeezing the spaces out of the people already inside the home. To the red man, alienating the people already inside was the worst thing you can do. Since the people on the outside were already alienated, there's nothing really to offend and no sacrifices to be had. To the blue man, alienating everybody else outside was the worst thing you can do, since the people on the outside generated all of the money and populated the inside. One day, the red and the blue man were sitting inside of their home and having an argument about how to make more money and how to make their home better. The red man says to stop importing so many people and inviting people into the house. If we at the very least stop it for a temporary amount of time, then we can build infrastructure strong enough in order to support a slower drip of people. Sure, we will lose money in the end, but we don't lose the tenants we already have. The blue man says to import as many people as possible. More people equals more money. More money equals less tenants moving out. The red and the blue man realized that both of them had a point, so they had to come up with a plot in order to keep people inside, generate more money, and still bring people back into the homes while preventing the people already in the homes from leaving. So they decided to hire a representative. They restricted the ability of the representative to represent either the red man or the blue man, and allowed the tenants of the house to choose who exactly the representative was for the time. The representative would dictate which side the red or the blue man had to lean toward in order to fix the overarching issue and continue to generate more money within the house. If the representative was voted in as red, then the overarching majority of the tenants wanted to see a stronger home at the sacrifice of more potential tenants. If the representative was blue, more progressive and economic-based ideologies were circulating throughout the home. The red and the blue man also decided to make it a political war. They would give identities to their colors. The red became right, and the blue became left. The red man decided to represent more power for the tenants and less power for the sitting representative and the powers beneath him. The blue man represented the entire house as a whole, specifically the structures that made the house run and the money that goes through and keeps the house standing and people inside of it. The red and blue man made another compromise. They also decided to start turning the representative into a celebrity and allowing that representative to start brainwashing each side and radicalizing the right and left directly against each other. The right and the left would be so caught up in the emotions of what's going on that they would never notice that the tides of the way that they vote and start leaning toward actually shows the direction the house needs to move towards. The further right the tenants move, the less stable they feel about their place in the house. The further left the tenants move, the less stable they feel about other people's place in the house. The red and the blue men realized something again as they did this. The further they can push their tenants, the more blind they can make them, and the more blind they can make them, the more they can start propagandizing and extremifying the ones who commit to staying blind. Merchandise, assassinations, sabotage, rights, identity, marriage, and religion. All of these things became a part of what was discussed within the household when they never actually had anything to do with the sanctity and the state of the house in the first place. The further separated the right and the left tenants got from each other, the more they dug their heels into their own positions, and they were willing to kill each other and themselves in order to prove themselves right. And when they inevitably couldn't do that, they would radically shift over to the other side as to follow the political shift of the household. The more extreme things got, the more extreme the consequences were. But both sides, the red and the blue man, saw the same benefit. More money was being made. The red and the blue man got exactly what they wanted together. The red man saw to it that nobody would ever leave the house. This place is perfect. Sure, it might be a little sloppy and there's people killing each other and arguing, but at least we know that our house is the greatest in the neighborhood and it is the strongest house in the neighborhood because people are willing to die for that fact, regardless of the side they're on. The blue man saw to it that more people could enter the house and generate more money. The place is perfect. Sure, it might be a little sloppy, and the people we're bringing into the house are also bringing in things that we don't really want, such as new furniture, diseases for the other people, but at least we know our house is the greatest house, and that would make it the strongest house in the neighborhood, because the people are willing to bring in other people that kill them, regardless of the side they're on. If you don't understand the point I'm trying to make, then I'm sorry to tell you, the red and the blue man have brainwashed you as well. And you're nothing more than a tenant ready to be evicted to the slaughterhouse.